Welcome to AP Bites, short takes on big conversations in sport. We're excited to launch this new short form segment where we unpack some of the questions and topics we're seeing across sport right now. Today we're asking, do we overvalue winning in junior sport? Because if we look at this honestly, we send some pretty mixed messages to kids. We say it's about fun and development and participation, but then in our lounge rooms at home, we celebrate our teams when they win, we get frustrated when they lose, we talk about results like it's everything of the game we've just watched. And our kids are watching all of this. They're watching us.
Yeah, and this is where it gets tricky because it's not that winning doesn't matter. You can absolutely celebrate the wins. I mean, that's part of sport. That's part of what makes it exciting, what makes it meaningful. We don't believe in participation awards that ignore performance though. That's not real life. Effort matters, standard matters, outcome matters. But when winning becomes the sole focus too early and too often, it starts to shape what kids think success actually is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they translate that success, right? So for
Right.
them, it's no longer about learning how to play the sport or stretch the limits in their sport or test their skills in their sport. It's this quick learning process that happens in developing brains of what's getting attention here? What are they celebrating in my home circle, in my sports circle, in my school circle? What gets approval? And if the biggest reactions they're seeing are that winning is this thing that generates a huge amount of excitement for all of the people around me, or that losing, causes chairs and dogs to be kicked and frustrated people in my home, then the message becomes winning's the thing that matters most. So it's no longer about having fun. It's no longer about participating. It's no longer about the fitness and well-being if that's the message that we send. And even if no one's ever saying that out loud, even if our message out loud is that, participation and fun is what matters most, if our reactions are winning gets excitement and losing causes frustration, then that's what our kids are going to read. That's what all junior sports people are going to read. And we're seeing this more broadly at the moment in the way sports conversations are playing out. We've seen Ash Barty speaking out recently about how early success isn't just an indicator of long-term success. It guarantees nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fun has to be at the center of sport for kids, and over time when it's not, that shows up. Like
Yeah.
they start to play safe instead of trying things and expressing that creativity. They avoid making mistakes instead of learning from them, and often tie their confidence to those results as well. And for some, when the winning stops, they stop. And we see that, in the data, particularly for teenagers with 70% plus stopping sport between those 12 to 15 year sort of age groups. And not necessarily because they don't love sport, but because they've learned that losing means that they're not good enough. And
Yeah,
that's a scary place to be.
yeah, absolutely. And it happens earlier than we realize, right? And we see that result later on when we talk about those dropout rates you've indicated, Laura, but the implications start earlier. The what kids are picking up starts earlier. So maybe the question isn't should winning matter, because it does, right? It does. I mean, that's what makes competitive sports people. But maybe the real question is, what are we teaching kids winning means? What it
Yeah.
actually means? Is winning tied to effort, tied to improvements, tied to resilience, tied to, depending on your sport, maybe tied to teamwork, tied to communication? Or is all of winning just about the scoreboard?
It's really a important question to be asking, taking a minute to reflect on. This is such an important conversation to be having, whether you're a coach, whether you're a parent, whether you're involved in sport to any kind of degree or around child development in any kind of setting. And if this resonates, there are a few small things you can shift straight away to make an impact.
Mhm.
I'd say first, let's focus on changing the first question that you ask a child after sport. Instead of saying something like, "Did you win?" Try, "What did you learn?" or "What went well?" Second, I'd say, "What's your reactions?" We are their teachers. in whatever capacity you're showing up in that sporting environment, they are looking to you as the adults and they're learning from you. So on the sideline or in the car or even in the lounge room at home, kids are always watching how we respond. And third, reward bravery, not just results. Call out when they try something new, take a risk, or make a good decision under pressure, because those small signals become the culture.
Yeah.
Winning has a place in sport, as we said, but if it becomes the only thing we value, we risk losing everything else that sport is meant to build.
Mm.
Thanks for listening to AP Bites, short takes on big conversations in sport. We'll see you next time.